Welcome to part 2 of our series in riding with the Can-Am crew at Rush Off-Road Park in Kentucky. If you didn't get a chance to watch our first video, please do check it out. We did explore some of Rankin Creek and also Colbert Canyon and some other trails. Now this video will continue in that series and we'll show you a little bit more of riding with the group. Now the Honda is not that well equipped to handle a lot of this, but we'll show you some of the limitations and what we ran into while out here on the hills with the Can-Am crew. But we had a great time. It really just was a great experience. Most of the riders did have Can-Ams, but there were a few outliers. Me and the Honda, we had 2 Yamahas, we had a few Polaris units, and we had a Wildcat or 2. It was quite an array of different vehicles, different experience levels and abilities. So when we went out riding, we were in the pack towards the front of the group. Not only very ruddy and rocky, the challenges on this park are a lot of fun. You just have to really know where to go. Jesse and the Can-Am crew have been here before and they know the park very well. So we felt comfortable knowing that they would bring us into the fun parts. As the long line of Can-Am crew subscribers passed through the hills, we knew that we'd have some adventure ahead, but we really didn't know the full details of what trail we were going to go on. We were relying on the Can-Am crew for a full day and fun day of adventure, and we certainly got it. Everybody was excited to be out on the trails as a group. The weather was great on day 2, much like the first day we went riding. Overall, we had a great time on day 1, and you can watch that in our video on our YouTube. We'll put a link up. The team did great, and we had an awesome time. So we learned that the tire of choice for the Can-Am crew is the Rockzillas. Now we have Tusk Terrabites, and that pretty much matches our kind of trail riding. General purpose, DOT rated, not very sticky. But even yesterday and today, for these episodes, you'll notice that yes, had I had stickier tires, I would have made it through a lot more. So the Can-Am crew brought us over to another slick rock face climb, and we had the option of either doing it or not. It was certainly 2 different ways to get out of the same location, but this was going to be pretty educational and amazing to watch how the team, as well as the abilities of the Rockzillas, would make it up this rock face. Now, myself, with the Tusk Terrabites, even with the pressure aired down on them, I still didn't feel they had enough grip, and they weren't sticky enough to try this, so we decided just to watch and film. Next was the Pro R, and I do have to say it does have a unique engine noise to it.
They make it look so easy.
Yeah, I don't trust my tires.
and everybody else gave it a shot. There was only a few of us who didn't feel comfortable with our tire grip, and we went around, but still very entertaining to watch and always impressive. And then the two-seater R-MAX.
Nicely done.
So we met up with the crew around the corner up the hill and continued on the adventure for the day. Thanks to Evolution Powersports, our sponsor in Reading, Pennsylvania, your one-stop shop for quality off-road vehicles, parts, and more. Let them know the Beaten Trail sent you. Go ahead and click on our merchandise link for hats and shirts at the click of a button. As we stated in the first video and in the park review, all the trails are very well marked. They are very dry this time of season when we went. Didn't seem to be too much rain in the forecast prior to our arrival, and you can tell because the ruts are not full of water, they're dry and full of leaves. Just be aware when you're driving, and if you do have a rainy time, you could run into some pretty deep water, but that's just a lot of fun anyway. Be aware and make sure that you have your maps ready for this location, as it does have quite a lot of expansive land that goes off quite some ways. And as I had stated before, the Yamaha R-MAX that we followed for quite a while was very impressive. We would love to get our hands on a unit and be able to do some field testing, but as a four-seater, it is not very long, but the wheelbase is still very adequate. Definitely would love to do some long-term testing on this, and we may have to do that in the future. It was one of the units that I looked at before I did purchase the Honda. It was very capable, and we were very impressed. Every once in a while, we would stop, and we just knew that up ahead the Can-Am crew was doing some filming, or they were stopping to get a real good close-up of that climb or that mud pit. And we'd stop, and we typically would just hang out for a little bit, but it was a beautiful day. You can watch their episodes and see their view of the park. In the course of our riding, we did run into about a 45-degree hill. It was a steady climb, but it didn't look that bad. Now, of course, it's always good to have people on the team who will assist you when you may be stuck on a hill. And so I just felt more comfortable actually getting winched out of this over this rock overhang, only because the Honda she just wanted to bring the front wheels up, and I felt a little more comfortable if I got winched past that point. And I really didn't want to hold up the whole team, but I also didn't want to roll over backwards. We went up to the top of the hill and decided to go back down and get some footage of everybody else coming up on that fun hill climb. And that same lip that everybody went over and I took easy over, it was a challenge for some people. Most made it over, but it just was a precarious spot for some people.
Oh, I got an angle too. Good.
Happy to say that nobody got hurt during this incident, other than the vehicle, which can be repaired. Everybody was all right. The whole team pulled in to get everybody home in one piece. Everything was okay, and we'd stop occasionally to help them, or just to let them have a little bit of slower pace and to make it back okay. There were some humorous times, and we all had a great time out there. Big thanks to the Can-Am crew and everybody on the team, because that's what it's all about. You go riding in the woods, you're not supposed to go alone, and this is the reason why. You want to be able to go out there and have each other's back. We do appreciate everybody watching, and we hope that you enjoy this. Going to do a little bit more of this ATV park and the ride, so stay tuned. We'll have another episode for you soon. But until then, we hope to see you out there on the trail.
It's a little too green.
All right. Just got you. You don't know.
Well, I mean, have this guy get out of the way and have him do a little maiden voyage down to there and see where we are.
I super grabbed my GoPro.
Oh, God. I like how you think.
What could possibly go
Hey,
wrong?
absolutely nothing.